Hello tarot lovers and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, you've come to the right place because this is where you are going to connect with your deck. Because here, this is where we build our spiritual confidence, listen to our intuition so we can read our tarot cards with ease. And today we are going to be talking about number 14 in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Temperance card. I'm going to be taking a deep dive into this card. I'm not just going to talk about the meaning, but I'm going to talk to you about the symbolism. We're going to talk about the numerology. We're going to talk about the astrology. We're going to talk about the colors, and we're going to talk about the actual meaning of this image in this card so that you can actually understand the card at a deeper level. And when you expose yourself to this sort of thing, when you expose yourself to looking at the cards from a deeper perspective, it helps you to retain the meaning. Of course, I want you to come up with your own meaning, but you don't just pull the meaning out of the air. What we do is we look at the traditional meaning of the card. And Rider-Waite-Smith Pamela Coleman-Smith and Arthur Waite have done an absolutely amazing job with these cards at capturing the traditional meanings of the cards from when they first evolved. Now, some people might say, oh, well, have they? But this is the most popular deck in the world. A lot of tarot teachers, including myself, use it. And so it's important, A, that you know it, and B, then once you know it, you can start to explore how Pamela Coleman-Smith and Arthur Waite put this deck together if you want to go into a deeper understanding of the tarot. And we will certainly look at that as time goes on my channel. So if you haven't subscribed and hit that notifications bell, make sure you do so you don't miss another one of my uploads. And I'm going to spin the camera around and take a deep dive into the Temperance card. I'll see you in a minute. So let's have a look at the Temperance card. So I've got two decks here and they're both available in my Amazon shop. I've got the large giant deck, which is great if you want a deeper look at the symbolism in the card. And I have got the deck that I usually recommend for people to purchase. This is the little deck, and it is the yellow deck, which is traditional size and is the original colors of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So if you're going to be learning the symbolism, and we're going to do much more work on this as time goes on, it'll help you to actually learn those traditional colors and traditional symbolism to help you if you want to look at any other deck. Now, the thing I've found so powerful about knowing symbolism is if I'm sitting in front of a client and I think, oh, I really don't know. I'm not getting anything. Or even myself, you can start reading the symbolism. And as you start reading the symbolism and looking for common symbols and common colors in the whole spread, as you've laid it all out, you'll find that you start to calm down. And then once you calm down, you find that you can hear more, you can see more, you can pick up more, particularly if you've got a client with you, or if you're doing a written reading and you're tuning into the energy, more will come through for you, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself doing a reading. So that's why I find it useful. I also find it incredibly interesting. The whole history of the tarot is just enormous. I haven't even scratched the surface yet in looking at all the cards. And so, of course, that's super fun. I really enjoy it. And so there's that part of it as well. So it means that you can learn the real meaning of the card, and then you can apply that meaning to yourself and your own life's experience and come up with your own interpretation of what you believe the card means based on the original meaning of the card, if that makes sense. So these are my cheat sheets. They're available in my shop. These are the cheat sheets that I wrote because I knew if you all started watching these videos, you'd say, oh, Elizabeth, we want to know we want your notes. And I must say, if you do if you do purchase any notes from my shop, any of my cheat sheets, it does help me to keep teaching and keep doing the things that I do on my channel. So the way my channel works is everybody just contributes in however they can. So if you can watch the advertising on my channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell. That really helps me. If you can contribute in my Facebook group and be part of my card a day challenge, or you can purchase something of mine, is even better. So let's put this card to one side so we can focus on the big one, because I find that easier to read. So let's look at the Golden Dawn title, which is Daughter of the Reconcilers, the bringer forth of life. So she's reconciling. And what do we do when we're reconciling? We're balancing. So that's what this card's about. It's about balancing. So if we look at the numerology, we're looking at number 5. And number 5 is dynamic challenges, 1 and 4 added together. So 1 is new beginnings, 4 is foundations, and when the 2 together, the 5 comes together to come together to make 5, which is the energy of disruption. Now, if we think about what other major arcana card is 5, we're looking at the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant represents dynamic challenges in a different way. The traditional meaning of this card was to get married. The evolving meaning, of course, is not just the dynamic challenge of getting married, which is a huge thing. Well, when I say getting married, in modern terms, we're talking about forming a relationship with someone, whatever that looks like. It is the dynamic. The way we look at this card in modern interpretation is it is the dynamic challenge of the boundaries in our life. Where's our no line? What will we and won't we accept? How do we keep ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually safe? How do we do that? What do we say no to? What do we say yes to? I mean, the original meaning would be making things legal. Well, that's stepping over a line, isn't it? Or a boundary from mucking around, playing around, and doing things seriously. If we look at Temperance, you're balancing, you're having a dynamic challenge in a different way because you're balancing. So here, this is the alchemy here. She's mixing the water. She's going from one cup to the other. She's trying to find the balance between the two. She's put her toe into the universal the universal consciousness, which is shown here with her foot in the pool of water. So she's testing and seeing, is it okay? Am I going to be all right? Do I keep walking into my consciousness, or do I step back? So this is about weighing things up, serious things in your life. Little bit different to the Judgment card, where you are weighing things up in a way to make a decision. Let me find that card. I'm just thinking of different cards that have similar meanings. So this one's not 5. This one's actually 11, which is a highly spiritual number and doesn't reduce in numerology. Most numbers reduce, but 11 is one of the spiritual numbers and it doesn't. But it is, again, about balance, weighing things up and making decisions. So this is more about your own personal making of a decision. So that's the numerology. The timing, of course, and again, I've got my wheel, astrological wheel here to show you the card placement, the Golden Dawn card placement. Now, this is available in my shop. It's part of my astrological cheat sheets. So I'm pretty sure the link to that is down in the description box. There's a little black arrow you can click that's down on the right in the right hand corner, and when you click that, the whole description box pops open. I'll make sure I'll try and remember to put them down into the comments, all the information down into the comments as well, to make it easy for you to find it. And there should be a link there that you can click on to go across if you want to grab this sheet. Actually, it needs to go the other way up. Elizabeth, what are you talking about? We can find the Temperance card in here because it is in the zodiac of Sagittarius here. So you can see that the cards are all placed on the astrological wheel, and this is the Golden Dawn attributions for the tarot deck. And doing this on Canva, as much as it nearly did my head in, was the most amazing thing to create, because what I created was something so visual to be able to look at and see where all the cards sit and how they interrelate with one another. And we'll do some more work on this when we start to look at the Golden Dawn. So the timing is Sagittarius, and you might say, well, how does Sagittarius relate to Temperance? Well, if we're thinking about balancing, Sagittarius is the centaur. So the centaur is the half horse, half man. So this is about balancing our animal nature and our spiritual nature. It's balancing the two sides of ourselves in life. And so it's wanting to find that deeper sense of balance within ourselves. And so the meaning is reflected in the zodiac sign. Classical element of fire. So this is about strength. It's about life force. It's about your own personal sense of balance. What is working for you, and how, if it's not working for you, how do you create that shift so you bring your life back into balance? The Hebrew letter is Samek. Oh my goodness, I do hope I'm pronouncing these correctly. I don't have a Jewish background. I've had to research all of this myself. So I do hope I've got them pronouncing correctly. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's not really about the pronunciation of the Hebrew letter. It's about understanding the meaning of the Hebrew letter and how it relates to the Temperance card. So the Hebrew letter Samech, it means prop. Now, the prop, the actual meaning of that is about a stick that you lean on. Now, normally these little symbols look a little bit like what they actually are. This one is enclosed, and that's because what we're thinking about is this idea that the things that we lean on in life, the ideas we lean on in life, whether they're physical, whether they're emotional, whether they're spiritual, whatever they are, we're bringing them into balance as we lean, think about leaning on a walking stick or a prop. We're bringing ourselves into balance by having them. So what this is talking about is the idea that these ideas, these beliefs, these boundaries, these values create a circle or a protection around us. So that's the idea of the Hebrew letter in connection with this card. So this idea that you're bringing things into balance, and you're doing it to bring yourself into a greater sense of who you are, bringing yourself into a stronger person who is more balanced and more self-aware and able to take on the challenges as the angel steps her foot into the spiritual pool. The placement is the 14th key or the 14th pathway on the tree of life, and we're looking at the connection between Temperance, which is beauty, and Yesod, which is foundation. So taking the beauty within ourselves and bringing it into a solid manifestation of who we are. So that's your Kabbalah, and we will do more on this. I'm just wanting to look at the card first. Otherwise, I get lost in it all. All right, and of course, I've got a cheat sheet, a brief cheat sheet, and also a worksheet that you can use that's available in the pack that you can buy in my Etsy shop. You don't have to, but if you'd like to have the notes to follow along with me, then it's a way you can support my work. So the wings, passion, vitality, red wings, reminding us that we're going to, take flight and rise up into the air and reach our full potential. The grey sky around us is a reminder not to get caught up in the confusion. So as we're taking off and we're wanting to reach our full potential, we're taking off into a grey sky. So we need to be careful we don't get distracted by that. And when the classic example I can think of is having a sense of who you are and then going and interacting with someone you really care about, and that person really challenging you and then compromising something that you've made a decision about, and then realizing that it was a mistake afterwards and not listening to yourself. So that idea of not stepping out into the world and getting distracted by it all. The white cape here, or the white tunic, is innocence and experience. This idea of the white cape being innocent, and where she's measuring right in front as she's standing there, right in front as she tips her water from one cup to another. Don't bring experience in. Try as hard as you can not to be impacted, especially by the things that have happened before that haven't worked. And having said that, of course we learn from experience, but this idea of trying to have an open mind, trying to be balanced in our assessment of what's happening around us. The blue symbolism, of course, is the universal energy. And of course, blue mountains is often represents spiritual journey, and of course the blue water from one cup to another, moving our conscious and unconscious energies and emotions. The triangle on the tunic on the front is an ancient Egyptian symbol to do with capacity for intelligence and capacity for love. What else? The sun behind the angel's back represents a warning about putting your intentions aside. So it's shining through the grey sky, and it's saying, hey, don't forget that you've got huge possibilities, huge excitement, huge passion, huge potential. Don't let the grey sky or everything else that's going on around you dissuade you from where you're going with that. Again, the aura around the angel's head is representing personal will and being able to withstand the rigors of life. You've got this beautiful aura around you that strengthens you and empowers you. This is your third eye here. This little jewel here is about opening your third eye to the deeper meanings of life. And the idea of the person here being an angel that's finding her balance is it reminding us that we all have this amazing heavenly spiritual potential within us. So that's the Temperance card. I do hope you enjoyed my interpretation of the card. The next card that we are going to be looking at is the Devil, which is this card here. And a very different card to this card number 15. So again, number 6 in the numerology. So I will stop videoing now. I've really enjoyed talking about that card. I will stop videoing now, and I will see you in the next video where we will talk about the devil. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell. See you soon. Bye-bye.